Okay, as you can see, right now I am actually running Memtest 86. If you're wondering what I'm running Memtest 86 on, it's this thing back here, the HP DC 7600 SFF. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I've noticed some instabilities in the operating system. So we're going to try and figure it out. I think I've pretty much figured it out that it's not the RAM because there's no errors and it's already been through one pass. But I may let it go through a couple more just to be real sure. But in this video, we're actually going to be taking a look at this, the HP Vectra VL400, and furthermore, we'll also be taking a look at the VL420 because if you remember, there were a couple of them. I don't think I mentioned it, but there were 3 VL420s and 2 of these VL400s, and they had the drives in place. So I've got the drives from those machines because I grabbed them. Of course, can always use other hard drives. This was in the other one. When you consider that this has a 10 gigabyte Seagate in it, this is kind of interesting. It's a Maxtor Diamond Crash Plus 9, 160 gigabyte, so that could certainly be useful for something. But I'm curious, because I want to know what's on these. I don't know how much I can show, and this one, the other machine, well, the one that this came out of, the other VL400, had a sticker on it that said that Windows was corrupted. So, I don't know about you, but I'm curious. I wonder what that actually means. So, I'm going to go ahead and hook it up with the world's worst power connector. This thing was impossible to get off of there. Don't really know why. So, we'll go ahead and do that. This thing is really not designed for drive swapping like this, but, you know, what are you going to do? The answer is not a whole lot. So I've got it hooked up. Let's push power and see what happens. Came on, it's making a rather annoyed noise. High-pitched. There's a floppy drive. So what happens when it starts? Well, it's trying to start into something. Looks like Windows XP. Doesn't look like it gets very far. Ah. I think we have a bad hard drive. I think that's probably what the problem is. Not that Windows is corrupted. Let me grab my Ultimate Boot CD and we'll see what it says. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, I'm going to grab my UB CD and boot this thing into HDAT2 and see what it says. Okay, so I got my UB CD in there now. So, I'm going to go ahead and boot it up into this. We'll get into HDAT2. Diagnosis. HDAT. It's only an IDE drive anyway. There you can see what it is. Okay, we got a smart error on the drive. So what does it have to say for itself? Well, that's not too bad. 56. It's only got 56 bad sectors. Oh boy. Yeah, I think we have a problem here. I wonder if I can get it to reallocate those. Yeah, this thing is, it's having problems. I'm going to see if I can get it to reallocate. I think that ought to be interesting. Wow. Practically every block right there was bad. That's pretty bad. I don't know if you can hear it. Well, probably not now, because it's not encountering an error, but... I don't have high hopes for this one. It's another one of these diamond crash drives that really doesn't work too well. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time. Okay, we're missing some storage on this, because it's supposed to be 160. So I don't know how that happened. It's probably got an HPA set on it. But anyway, it completed. I'm also not sure where that 78 bad sectors deal came from, because it looks like it only found 37. End of test, press any key. Okay. I don't need it. So, I'm sure I'm going to exit. Didn't crash this time when I exited. Because the last time I screwed up my test settings and I went to go change it and the thing crashed. So, still got a smart error. That went down. How does that happen? Offline uncorrectable errors. Usually that means uncorrectable sectors. I don't know, maybe that's not what that actually means. I mean, otherwise, it looks like that actually did work. I'm really not sure how that number decreased. So, anyway, let's go ahead and reboot it. Pull out the disk so it doesn't boot from the disk again. Press the spacebar to skip the memory test, because it will take forever to test 512 megs. Let's see if it actually starts now. Nope. Yep, Windows installation is screwed. Well, anyway, enough messing with this piece of junk. Let me go get something else. Okay, well, it's in place, so the only thing left to do would be to fire it up. Where's the power switch? It's a 20 gigabyte Maxter drive that's in there right now. Oops, I forgot to put the... Well, actually, it's not going to matter. I want to see what it boots into first, before I go and do any of that. Windows XP. Not sure what I can and can't show on this. I wonder if it's hooked into the domain. Looks like it is. So, won't be breaking into it like that. But at least I know what's on it. Maybe I'll try and bust into it. Hold my beer and watch this. Yeah, here's this tool again. Again, I'm really not sure why I'm wasting my time with this. 20 gig drive. Good enough for me. Password reset. Edit user data and passwords. So this is what's on the machine. So let's go through administrator. One failed login, account's not disabled. So we'll clear the password. And it'll tell us there is no password. So it's not disabled, so at least it is enabled. So we'll go ahead and we'll quit out of that. Put in a bang to quit. Quit. Save it. And we don't need a new run. Now we can reboot the system. We'll pull the disk out of the drive. This is how quick it is to break into a Windows computer. So, you know, all the people who wrote into me about my saying Linux is so insecure because you can break into it very easily. Look at that. Windows is exactly the same way. The only difference is that you need a tool to do it. But I think you could do it even within Windows. You know, you boot into safe mode with command prompt. And I just hit Control-Alt-Delete and it ignored me, so I guess there's one thing. So we'll turn it back on. Solve that problem pretty quickly. So we'll be able to get into the machine. I can tell you where the machine was, just based on the computer name. So, administrator. You just break into it like that. Problem solved. Looks like a pretty bone standard install of Windows XP, though. Well, not really. It's got stuff on it. But it's not like the other machine that had all kinds of data. Though that's not necessarily completely absolved. It could still have a whole bunch of data on it. And you would never even know. Go into properties. Oh, good God. Let's see here. Oh, stop that stupid piece of junk mouse. Ooh, print spooler. Yeah, it's upset because it can't connect to the local printer that's in that room. Domain file server. Let's see, hard disk drives. Wow. There's a lot of stuff on this. I might have to investigate, but I don't think I'm going to waste my time on this video with that. I'll just get the other drive and put that in. That's interesting. I thought I'd point this out. Just careful looking. Looks like somebody actually updated the BIOS on this thing. Huh. Strange. Usually people don't do that. I'll tell you what. There's one reason why I like Serial ATA, even though it's a real big pain in the rear end for me, because most of, my stuff is still IDE, but it is so much easier to plug in a Serial ATA connection. So bring the machine up. Hard drive does come on, so it's not dead. Windows XP again. So I imagine we're going to have to go through the same deal. Maybe not. Well, I guess not. No password. Some real nice security there. I don't know. That's weird. This looks like a pretty bone standard install, though. So there's certainly not a whole lot of stuff on here. I'd imagine all of these things came out of the same room. I'm gonna have a look at the... Even though I probably can't show it, I can certainly have a look at it. If it'll ever come up. Yeah, it is registered. What's the computer name? That's not very useful now, is it? So, I have no idea how much data is on this. This is an 80 gigabyte hard drive. Not a whole lot. Most of that's probably Windows. Go into it. Yeah, there's not a whole lot on here. So anyway, I think that's pretty well it. So this would have been the original drive in all three of those VL420s. And the 10 gig drive that was in the VL400 would have been original to the VL400s. But one of them obviously had the VL400s had that drive put in it. And I find it odd. All of these machines have different hard drives. So that's certainly very interesting. I'm not real sure. Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter. But I noticed this one's got a process label on it. So that's interesting. I wonder what this would have come out of originally. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I'll see you next time. Till then.